This video is a guide to rearranging the kinetic equation by the balancing method and using inverse operations. This is the kind of rearranging that you do in the mathematics class. It can be useful in the physics class, but it is not the easiest method to use. So, we have the equation, which is EK equals a half mv squared. Suppose a question were to give you the energy in the kinetic store and the velocity. How would you calculate the mass? Well, one method to do this would be to make m the subject of the formula. So to do this, we're going to use inverse operations. We have our equation EK equals a half mv squared. We want to get the m on its own. It is surrounded by two unhelpful terms. We've got a half on the left and v squared on the right. To get rid of these, we simply need to use an inverse operation. So we have mv squared divided by 2 on the right. Well, to get rid of that divided by 2, we can do the inverse operation, which is multiply by 2. Now, remembering that we have to do the same to both sides of the equation, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So EK times 2 and a half mv squared times 2. A half times by 2 is 1, and so that gives us 2EK is equal to mv squared. Now we still have the v squared next to the m that we want to get rid of. Since it's m times by v squared, what we can now do is we can divide both sides by v squared. If we do that, we have 2ek over v squared equals mv squared over v squared. In this case, just like 1 divided by 1 is 1, 5 divided by 5 is 1, a billion divided by a billion is 1, and z divided by z is 1, then v squared divided by v squared is 1. So we end up with 2ek over v squared equals m times 1. Now obviously we could ignore that 1 now, and we can call it m equals 2ek over v squared. Next, if the question asks for the velocity, again we write down our equation first. We've got half and m next to the v squared that we don't want. So we're going to do an inverse operation again. We've got mv squared divided by 2, so what we're going to do is we're going to times both sides by 2. We end up with 2ek equals mv squared. Next, we've got the m next to the v squared, and we want to get rid of the m. So what we can do now is we can divide both sides by m. So we have 2ek over m equals mv squared over m. And just like v squared divided by v squared was 1, m divided by m is 1. So we end up with 2ek over m is equal to v squared. Finally, we don't want v squared, we want v on its own. So what we can now do is we can square root both sides. This gives us that v is equal to the square root of 2ek over m.